Hello and welcome, Katy here. Thanks so much for stopping by. I am back with another project for Missing Stamps, and today we're going to create some quick sympathy cards. Now, I like to throw in thinking of you sentiments for sympathy cards because they work for sympathy cards, but they also act double duty in your card stash so that you have it to use for something else, not just for sympathy cards. So we're going to use the Magnolia Sympathy stamp set here, main floral image there, and then I'm pulling in the Artsy Abstracts stencils. This stencil is the one I'm going to use, but you get all these other ones within that stencil set. Plus, you get all those masks in there as well. So it's a really great value for all that you're getting in that stencil set. I've got some yellow dye ink there from Lavinia Stamps, and then I've got some Polychromos pencils I'm going to use to give a little bit more detail to our florals. The cards panels that you see here that I'm using is 100-pound accent opaque. It's a nice affordable cardstock that you can use for coloring like I'm doing here, ink blending, and also card bases. It's a little bit harder to get right now. So I put it in my wish list at Amazon so that way when it goes cheap again and it becomes more available, I can pick some more up. But anyway, using a blending brush, I like to start off with just the ink that's remaining on my blending brush to add my color first before I dip into the ink pad, and then go into the ink pad, tap off as you can see there on the glass mat, and get off the excess because I just want a nice soft wash of color. And I wanted to do some stamping in both brown and black, so that's why we've got two cards here today. But I'm only going to show you the one here. They're both the same, just one's done in brown stamping and the other one is done in black. So here we've got the VersaFine Clair Fallen Leaves brown ink, and I'm using my old Fisker's Easy Press stamp so that I didn't have to pull out the MISTI and move everything around. And now I'm going to zoom in here and get as close as I can so that you can see how quick and easy this coloring is. So one of the things that helps is having that color already there with that yellow from the dye ink, and then you can come in with your alcohol markers or your colored pencils and you can add in a little bit more color, a little bit more detail. I'm just doing some simple blending using 103, 130, and 132 Polychromos. I started with 130, that's dark flesh, so started at the base of the petal there. The second color was 132, which is your light flesh, and then I come over top with the ivory and blend everything together with the 103. Again, that's ivory. So super simple. The only thing you got to remember with colored pencils, you want to go with a light hand. Colored pencils, in order to blend, you have to layer the colors. So you don't want to burnish the paper and make it flat too soon. So always go in with a light hand. That's going to apply to even Crayola colored pencils. Light hand, add your layers in, and that way you'll be able to blend as long as the paper allows it. Once you burnish that paper and it becomes shiny, it makes it even more difficult, if I'll bet impossible, to blend your colored pencils together. So just keep that in mind. Keep a light hand. As you can see, my fingers are up towards, like this middle upper part of the shaft there, instead of being so close to the tip of the pencil, so that I can always have a light hand when I'm coloring. Now, I did speed this up, 2 times. So I'm doing like a circular motion and an up and down motion to fill in the colors, and I just go over top of all the colors. That's all you need to do. You do want to try to get colors that are similar, makes your blending a little bit easier, and you have less of a stark line between your two colors. So these were just, I just pulled them out because I like the colors when I opened up my little folio of colored pencils, and I went with them. And I used ivory instead of white for the 103 there because of the yellow dye ink that I used. So super simple, super quick. This took about 15 minutes, so it wasn't anything complicated. You could certainly add more detail. You could color, you know, those stems and everything. I chose to keep this really quick, really easy and simple. So I use my acetate like I did before to line up my sentiment there, because you have a gap between the width deepest and the line that crosses the T there in the sympathy. And I wanted to capture that there between the branches. Dark chocolate cardstock, ivory layering cardstock in the inside, and this is black. So this is just the Nocturne VersaFine Clair with a black card base, but that is going to finish it up. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Be sure and check the description box below and follow us over at Miss Ink Stamps Facebook group and share what you're making. We love to see what you guys are creating. Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you in the next video.